What's up, Iowa Wild fans? Hope the off season is treating you well. I am Joe O'Donnell here in Stone Harbor, New Jersey, spending some time at the beach. But it doesn't mean we keep the content from you. Keep it rolling here as we chat with Connor Dewar. Just finished up his rookie season with the Iowa Wild. He's in Stonewall, Manitoba. How are you, Dewey?
I'm good. I hope everyone's doing well.
Yeah, it's been sort of a crazy few months for a lot of people. But as you look back at year one, your rookie campaign in the AHL, how'd you feel that you handled things and how the season went for you?
I think it was a bit of a rocky start, making the transition from junior to pro, but I think I got my feet under me and had a successful year and
How
made a lot of friends and some good relationships.
Yeah, how frustrating was the start of the year, not playing a lot early on and really having to earn the coaching staff's trust?
Uh, yeah, it was hard. I mean, coming from junior where you're playing like 25, 30 minutes a night to where the first time in my life I was getting scratched. A bit of a like some loss of confidence, but I think I was able to find it again near just after Christmas.
The growth you showed during the season, obviously a lot of hard work and work behind the scenes with the coaching staff, but where do you feel you sort of developed the most? And you spoke about confidence a minute ago.
Um, I think the communication is a lot more important in pro. Especially when I was playing center, is really easy work with the defenseman and helping out on breakouts and moving the puck up the ice just by talking.
The coaches told me a lot, especially as the year moved on, that you have some of the best hockey sense on the team. Your positioning, knowing where to be, reading plays before they happen. Where does that come from?
Um, I guess maybe in Everett, I know I got to play a ton, so I got to see reps in every situation, a lot of reps and a lot of minutes in all situations. So I guess I gotta, and they're pretty like with Kevin Constantine as my coach. He was like the first ever like analytics guy. That's what kind of his claim is. But yeah, so a lot of video and a lot of like one-on-one sessions, and he'd talk you through every situation, every scenario, and how you could react to each play.
Let's stay there for a second because my first year in Houston and my second season as well with the Arrows, Kevin Constantine was the head coach from 2007. I think he took over initially, and I got there in the 08-09 season. And a lot of times, as the game has moved towards analytics and the video and all these things, all these stats that people rely on now, he was doing that, back then and before that. Did it take you a while to get used to kind of Constantine's approach? But his track record as being a winning coach speaks for itself.
Yeah, so making the transition from midget hockey, minor hockey to junior to the Western Hockey League I'd say it's a lot harder of a jump than it was from junior to pro, almost just because you're playing against it's your first time playing against guys 4 years, 5 years older than you, and everyone hits puberty at a different time, so everyone's different, and everyone's some guys are a lot heavier, some guys are a lot bigger, but the way he had it laid out, and it was just he simplified it for you, and you knew where you had to be and what you had to do, and then the instinctual part would come along after you got used to the system. So it was he did a great job of like integrating everyone into the team.
How did you find Everett, Washington? It's a great junior hockey league town. The Silver Tips have had good teams for a long time now. But what's the town like?
Everett's nice. It's right on the water in the Puget Sound. We billeted not so much in Everett, but all the kind of surrounding communities like Stevens, Marysville, Snohomish. It's like honestly like the Pacific Northwest, the nicest place on earth, from my experience. And I wouldn't be surprised if one day when it's all said and done, I'm living there.
Interesting. Your goaltender with the Silver Tips, Carter Hart, has already established himself as a great National Hockey League goaltender despite his youth. Philadelphia Flyers draft pick, of course. And this year you had Capo Kakinen, who won AHL Goalie of the Year. Do you see similarities between those two guys just from the mental standpoint, the number one goaltender sort of alpha male standpoint, and the confidence then that gives a hockey team?
A little bit, yeah. Personality wise, I think they're a lot different.
Yeah.
But their approach to the game, their calmness, and their IQ, it's pretty similar in how they'll talk to you and walk you through a situation, and how they see the game.
How about your personality? How would you describe it?
Um, I guess kind of, I don't know, quiet, I guess, not too loud, but I don't know.
What about on the ice? Because I know in Everett, I think your nickname was the Bulldog or the Pit Bull or something of that tenacious variety.
Yeah, the pit bull. I don't know. One of the ways that when I was 16, I was able to stay in lineup is Kevin loved that I would run around, and he had like one of his analytics was a dirt rating, so you'd get a point for a block shot, a hit, a turnover, or like a takeaway. So I don't know. I always had a really high dirt rating, so that kept me in the lineup when I was 16 and wasn't really producing offensively.
Tell our Iowa Wild fans about the relationship. You spoke of it earlier, friendships and getting to know guys. But Nico Sturm and Brandon Duhaime, a couple other rookies in very similar spots to you, and sort of the relationships with those two guys in particular.
Yeah, those guys coming in, they're a little bit more familiar with them just from going through development camps, and then me and Brandon and Nico were all training in Minnesota for a little bit last summer, so we got to be really familiar with each other and kind of chummed around together whenever we needed to split off into groups, and we all found place in the same apartment building, and we all always carpooled. So again, like we were all going through the same thing. So we always lean on each other whenever we needed to.
You got some power play time, especially as the year moved along with Jerry Mayhew in the NHL, and you were able to take advantage of some increased specialty teams roles and more on the PK as well. How much did that help your confidence? What was that like?
It helped a lot, especially penalty killing. I always found, in Everett, we always had one of the best kills in the league, and I thought I was a big part of that. And I took a lot of pride in frustrating the other team's top players. And power play wise, it's kind of a reward you get for doing everything soundly in other aspects of the game, and you have to produce when you're on it. So again, you have to outwork the penalty kill. So I think I'm a hard worker, and that's where my success comes on the special teams.
I don't have the numbers as far as shifts played or games played together in front of me, but uh, at times this year you played with some intimidating teammates in Cody McLeod, Mike Liambus, Mitch
Yeah.
McLean. Those guys were on your line at times during the year. What's that like?
Honestly, it was really easy. They like to play a simple game. They're kind of funny too. Like they've played so much hockey, so they've seen it all. I'd just be kind of sitting there watching the game, and they'd have a funny remark or something, and I just kind of start dying laughing on the bench and just trying to keep it together.
And you often knew that they obviously had your back out there, which I guess you're saying makes it easier to play the game, not have to worry about the other team taking a run at you.
Yeah, for sure. After whistles and scrums and stuff, guys would keep their hands off me if those two were out there. So it was nice.
What have you been up to so far this summer?
Um, well, Manitoba, it didn't hit too hard here. Everything was shut down before we really got hit by COVID. So right now, I think we're in phase 2 or 3. Restaurants are open. Golf courses have been open for a while. But yeah, when I first got home, not a lot of anything. Video games, Netflix. But then once the weather started getting nicer, I started golfing a little bit, and then my gym just opened up last week. So I've been working out and skating.
The best Netflix show you've watched since the season was paused slash canceled has been what?
Um, I wouldn't say Netflix, but kind of HBO True Detective season 1. Probably the best show I've ever watched, I think.
Give Wild fans a sense into what you like to do away from the rink.
Um, I don't know. I just kind of hang out with my buddies, and I like to laugh a lot. So you might not see that in my personality when I'm around the rink, but I think I keep it pretty loose away.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know it's a tough question for you to answer. You got to break out of your shell a little bit there.
Yeah.
But I figured that it had to be something that you get into that the fans would find interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say if you ask all my buddies, I'm kind of goofy, like kind of funny. So yeah.
The next step for you as you look at next year and the growth that's needed. I mean, there's an opportunity to be more of a leader, to eat up more ice time potentially next year. What will you work on this summer to make sure you're ready for that?
Everything. I think. I think there's no one in pro hockey who is does everything perfect. So to just keep always trying to get better every day a little bit in all aspects of my game would be a good goal for me.
Nice catching up with you, buddy, and stay safe up in Stonewall. We'll look forward to seeing you when the season gets rolling again.
Yeah, sounds good. Miss you
All right,
guys.
well, fans, that is Connor Dewar. As always, we hope you're enjoying the off season. Stay tuned to IowaWild.com and the social media platforms for more content coming your way.